is you, Coach Gravina. Welcome, everyone, to the 2024 Quincy University Athletics Hall of Fame induction ceremony. My name is Josh Raby. I'm the Director of Intercollegiate Athletics here at Quincy University. Today is truly a great day to be a Hawk as we celebrate the induction of 10 individuals and one championship team into our Athletics Hall of Fame. Our inductees have represented Quincy University in a first-class manner and have distinguished themselves as another pillar in the Quincy Sports Hall of Fame. First, I'd like to recognize President Emeritus Phil Conover, Emeritus Trustee Jim Mentesti, current Trustee Dan Tolbert, former Trustee Linda Moore. I'd like to recognize members of our advancement team for the organization of today's program, specifically Matt Bergman, Chris Brenneman, Miriam Herman, Maureen Kennedy, and Jim Lawrence. I'd like to recognize the current Quincy University Hall of Famers in attendance today. Please stand for recognition. Lastly, I'd like to thank our Hall of Fame committee for inducting another great class. I'd like to welcome Father John for our invocation.
Let us pray. God, source of all blessings, we welcome your presence among us this morning. For we gathered here to induct former Hawk athletes into the Quincy University Hall of Fame. We are grateful for the gift and the blessing of each of our honorees. They model to us the qualities of a Quincy University Hawk. By having keen vision, whether it was on or off the field or the court, by possessing strength and power, and above all, the strength of character, by exemplifying what it means to soar and actualizing one's potential, and what it means to possess an inner strength, an inner confidence, to be a person of action and integrity. So gracious God, bless then our honorees this day. Bless our time together. Bless each of us on this special day. We make this prayer in your name, for you are the source of all our blessings, now and forever. Amen? Amen.
I would like to introduce our president, Dr. Brian McGee.
I'm surprised Josh didn't stay up here to be right behind me to remind me to keep it short, because there's nothing more dangerous than a university president with a microphone, folks. Let me begin by noting this is Family Weekend, a whole host of events for us today. And so as I stare out at you, noting that most of you probably don't dress up quite this much for a Saturday morning. So let me tell you up front, you look good. So congratulations on that. And today is truly a celebration, hence the nice threads that you all have on. So is it a great day to be a Hawk or a really great day to be a Hawk? It is really a great day to be a Hawk. You could not be more right, and that is precisely because we get to celebrate some of the true standouts in the history of this institution. How many of you were either forced to read or chose to read on your own volition a book that was published years ago called Good to Great by Jim Collins? Anybody forced? Okay, I see not a few hands up for that. That book was published in 2001 before most of our current student athletes were born. So if you held up your hand like me and you held it anywhere close to the time it was published, you have officially aged yourself. Congratulations. But that book, Good to Great, has a series of simple but powerful ideas for how it is that truly outstanding companies are built, organizations are led. And one of the basic ideas is this: good is the enemy of great. It is hard to be good at something. It requires, for many things, hundreds of hours of labor and sweat and effort. And when you get to good, the temptation is to pat yourself on the back and say, I'm good. Or even worse, good enough. Now, how many of you have had to tell someone good enough is not good enough? And in fact, everyone who's going to be honored in this room today said no to good, said good enough doesn't cut it. Everyone in this room today who is being honored said, I don't want to be just good, I want to be great. Let's try it again. I don't want to be just good, I want to be great. And there is a whole lot of greatness in this room. People who excelled, who worked, who wiped sweat off their brow, and in all respects paid the dues, made the extra and extraordinary and difficult effort time and time again to excel. Not just to be good, but to be great. Once again, not just to be good, but to be great. And it is greatness that we're going to acknowledge today. Now, before I leave you, let me just remind you of one thing. And that is, some of you I know well. I've seen you on this campus many times supporting the students of this institution, the faculty, the staff, the alumni of this institution. Others of you I haven't seen so much. So I'm going to say, come back more often, not just for a big party. This is your alma mater. The teams that we are fielding today are your teams. For many of you as alumni of those programs, you are the rock stars of this institution's history. You are the individuals who inspire our students today. So please come back often. Be mentors to the students who are playing your sport today. Be mentors to the student athletes throughout this wonderful institution. Be mentors to the students who are trying to achieve today what you achieved in your time. So that's your way to be great as a QU alumnus and to support this wonderful institution and its student athletes and all those associated with it. We love QU. You love QU. Let's make a difference for the students that we have today. Come on back. But that said, today it's really all about you. Because you weren't just good, you were great. Not really good enough. You weren't just good, you were great. So what kind of day is it to be a Hawk? Great. What kind of day is it to be a Hawk? Great. It is a great day. Come on, people. It is a great day. It is a great day. Let's have a good one, folks. God bless.
This year marks the 50th anniversary of the Quincy University Athletics Hall of Fame. It was established in the spring of 1974. 10 members were inducted into the QU Sports Hall of Fame at that charter ceremony. Those charter members are Mike Villa, Jim Bells, Gene Rundy, Father Mac Wenskunis, Mart Heinen, Frank Brenner, Ed Crenshaw, Mike Brady, Leo Benz, and Dewey Calmer. You know, legend has it that Jim Namovich was the MC at that ceremony. But the legend also has it he was replaced as the MC after telling a series of bad jokes during the opening monologue. I don't know, Jim. We'll hear more from you later. Let's get to the ceremony. Speaking of bad jokes. Sorry, Jim. I'll wrap it up. Mark Longo. Mark graduated from QU in 1980 with a physical education degree. He was on the soccer team his first 2 years at QU, and then he was the director of intramurals his last two. After graduating, Mark started working with schools as a physical education instructor and a coach. Mark coached for 43 years in a variety of sports. Mark joined the Quincy Notre Dame coaching staff in 1989 when he took over for his father as coach of the boys soccer team. He guided the Raiders to a 96, 41, and 26 record, 3 regional titles, and 1 state tournament appearance in 7 seasons. Mark's legacy as a coach came while coaching the Q&D girls soccer program. Mark led Q&D girls soccer program to a career record of 257, 57, and 37, with 10 regional titles, 6 sectional titles, and 3 state tournament appearances, including 1 fourth-place finish. Mark also coached the Q&D boys golf team that won 2 state championships and 4 state trophies under his direction. During his 34 years of coaching at Q&D, Mark accomplished a career record of 608 wins, 109 losses, and 74 ties, with 33 consecutive winning seasons, 6 state championships, 2 fourth-place state finishes, 12 sectional championships, 21 regional championships, and 14 20-win seasons. He is the winningest girls soccer coach in Illinois High School Association history. Many great coaches have paced the sideline or fields of play for Quincy Notre Dame in various sports, but none have coached the Raiders and Lady Raiders to more victories than Mark Longo. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Longo.
I really hoping I was going to be the first one to talk, not knowing how long I should be up here. But that's okay. First of all, thank you to QU Hall of Fame for electing me into the Hall of Fame. I'll be honest, this was not on my radar at any point. So when Phil Conover called me, I was pleasantly surprised. But I will say this, if QU ever has an intramural Hall of Fame, I should be a charter member. Congratulations to all the other inductees on a job well done. I look forward to hearing your story here shortly. I come from great genes. Okay, my mom, sitting back there, one of the toughest women I ever known. Beat cancer twice. Raised 5 kids on a shoestring budget, and we never went without what we needed. Although my sisters are here, they seem to get a little bit more than the boys always got. And I think this alone should put her in sainthood. At one time, she had 4 kids in cloth diapers. 4 kids in cloth diapers. Think about that. My wife and I, our first child, we went 2 days and said, no, that's dumb. So thank you for being here, Mom. I love you. My dad, Frank Longo, started a soccer program here in 1964, the men's soccer program. And I think sometime shortly after seeing my 4th grade report card, said, oh, he's not going to be a rocket scientist, not going to be a brain surgeon. Maybe coaching's in his future. And he laid out a plan. I didn't know it, but he laid out a great plan. I learned to line a soccer field from Frank Longo and Jack McKenzie. Think about that. And when I say learn, not stand there, take mental notes, hands-on. For those of you that had the pleasure of watching a soccer game out at Q Stadium, I remember lining the center circle. Jack had the string in the middle of the field. He said, Mark, walk out to your dad, 10 yards, had a stake. Dad said, Mark, you're going to walk around the circle, and we're going to line the center circle. So I did it, start walking. Jack, hold that string tighter, hold it tighter. Dad, slow down, you're going too fast. No, now speed up, going too slow. Never felt more pressure in my life. The only other time would be if I was holding a flashlight for Dad. That's pressure. I learned the job from the bottom up, okay, down in the trainer's room, passing out socks, shorts, shirts, and jocks before practice, collecting them afterwards, passing out towels, and cleaning up afterwards. Filling water jugs, airing up soccer balls, taking them out to the field, making sure that that was ready for practice. And for those here that played under Dad, always clean the place up afterwards. Make sure the place was in better shape than when you got there. I was privileged with pregame speeches, halftime adjustment talks, postgame remarks. Rode on the bus, 2 games, learned how that went, to how you acted. You had to act at meals and behave. Probably the best thing, though, was always getting a glass of champagne after a national championship win. I've had great assistant coaches in my career. My late brother-in-law, Randy Struck, QU graduate. George McDonald, another QU graduate. Jason Keller, another QU graduate. My favorite Lady Hawk soccer player, Tina Dietrich, helped out. All my coaches were there for the best interest of the program, and they were awesome. Had great players. I cannot say enough to give enough credit for them. They bought into what I was selling every year. Come to practice, show up, work hard, do your job, and if you're the best player, you're going to play. And it was a formula that worked for 3 years, or for 43 years. It was great. I had a great family. Okay, 3 kids that were very successful in high school. My daughter Amanda was a all-state musician. My son Anthony played 2 state soccer tournaments. My youngest son Adam was a very great golfer, made state tournament in golf. They were okay with me missing a few matches here and there, or a few music concerts, but because they knew I was doing what I loved. But I will tell you, while I enjoyed all their matches, sitting through a PMO band concert was painful. If those ever had any of those were long days. Anyway, there's an old saying, behind every successful man is a great woman. And the word great does not do justice to what my wife Liz has meant to me in my career. She's been there through thick and thin, from first year not winning any games coaching soccer to the fact that we're part of 12 state championships. She was, I'm pretty sure she would tell you she had no clue what a coach's wife was going to be when she got into it, but she found out pretty darn quick, let me tell you. But anyway, I love you and thank you for everything you've done. In closing, again, thank you to the QU Hall of Fame. I'm very honored and humbled to be part of the Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Congratulations, Mark. Jim Namovich. Jim graduated from Quincy University in 1985 with a communications degree. He worked at QU for 15 years in various administrative capacities, including Director of Athletics from 1992 to 2000. Jim left his alma mater to become the commissioner of the Great Lakes Valley Conference, where he is currently in his 24th year as commissioner. He is the second full-time commissioner in the league's 45-year history and is responsible for the conference's 24 sports and 23 championship events. Also, he is in charge of the budgeting, promotions, and the administration. Namovich holds the distinguished honor of having served the league as commissioner longer than any of his predecessors. During his tenure, the league has added 12 member institutions and is currently one of the largest conferences in all of NCAA Division II athletics, with 15 members and sponsoring 25 sports. Under his leadership, the GLVC has been a trailblazer in Division II athletics. A few of the conference accomplishments under Jim's leadership include the creation of the GLVC Sports Network, the first digital platform of its kind at the NCAA Division II level. Through the 23-24 academic year, this platform has done 4.9 million plays by fans across the world. The first Division II conference to have a mobile app and over-the-top streaming platform. Been a Division II leader in discussions on diversity and inclusion. Started the GLVC Hall of Fame. Oversees a conference that yearly exceeds the federal graduation rate. Organized the inaugural Midwest Region Crossover Volleyball Tournament in 2008, which was the first and currently largest NCAA interregional volleyball tournament in the country. Expanded the GLVC to have the third most championships in all of Division II. Jim's service to the GLVC and Quincy University exhibit a remarkable professional profile highlighting his leadership and commitment to Division II athletics and Division II athletes. It's truly an honor for me to induct Jim into the Quincy University Hall of Fame.
Wow, that was pretty good. No, that was pretty great. Good morning. My sincere thanks and gratitude to Linda Moore and members of the Quincy University Sports Hall of Fame Committee for bestowing this honor upon me. I am grateful to President Dr. Brian McGee for his leadership and for his time and effort to lead my alma mater, as well as to Josh Raby, Carly Kielsmeyer, and Dr. Justin Coffey, who I have the pleasure of working with throughout the year as the key stakeholders in the QU Athletic Department. I would also like to extend my congratulations to my friends and colleagues who are part of this Hall of Fame class. It is a special opportunity for me to reconnect with each of today's recipients, all of whom I had the pleasure of meeting, knowing, or watching compete while a member of a Lady Hawk or Hawk team. Josh Breitbach, number 87 for the football Hawks, great hands from the state of Iowa. Tom Leppard, a local legend. Tom and I discussed the lower lumbar comfort or lack thereof of every church pew from the parishes around Quincy during his recruiting visit. Tori Bunzel, one of the most dominating pitchers in the history of Quincy University softball, and an individual I had the pleasure of inducting into the GLVC Hall of Fame a couple years ago. Roger Sheridan, I'm pretty sure Roger and I met during QU Alumni Reunion Weekend around 1985-87 when I served as Director of Alumni. Jessica Keller, nobody on the women's team or the men's team had a better form on their jump shot than Jess did during her career. Mark Longo, an outstanding high school coach with great bloodlines to his legendary father Frank and mother Susie. Ashley Kreis, great memories of the Lady Hawks back-to-back trips to Rindge, New Hampshire for the NCAA Division II Women's Soccer National Semifinals in the mid-90s. Lanny and Joanne both personify the Franciscan values of service to others through their commitment and dedication to QU over the years. The 1994 football team, I'm telling you, these guys had it rolling on their way to an Illini Badger Conference championship. I still recall standing on the sideline during the game with Greenville when Mike Cable comes up to me and asks if I'd tell Greg Warren, Dean of Students, not to bust their victory party that night at one of the senior houses. Doesn't every student athlete make that request of their AD at some point in their career? Great to see so many of you guys back and the memories that I have of that particular season. I love, and I do mean love, returning to Quincy, and especially gratified to have so many family members from Springfield, Illinois, who made the trip over on the Central Illinois Expressway to celebrate with me, including my mom, Jean, 94 years old, and my Uncle Joe, 96. As well as my sister. Yeah, give that a round of applause. They belong in the People Hall of Fame. Hell, they probably got out of the car at 48th Street and walked down to campus to get their morning walks in this morning. I also want to acknowledge my sisters Mary, Patty, Nancy, and Laura. Laura, QU class of 1994, and their spouses Tom, Esteban, Rob, and Rick, QU class of 1989. I truly all appreciate you all being here to celebrate today. I spent the first 15 years of my career at Quincy University and owe a huge debt of gratitude to Father Jim Toll, who was president that gave a 28-year-old left-handed Lithuanian the incredible opportunity to serve as director of athletics and start my career in athletics administration. Father Jim led QU from the NAIA to the NCAA, reinstated football after a 53-year hiatus, and worked with me to move athletics from an independent to a member of the GLVC. I will forever be indebted to Father Jim for all he did for me and Carolyn, including presiding over our wedding on October 21st, 1989 in the chapel. He, along with Kate Lloyd, Vice President of University Advancement, Pam Sherman, Director of Public Relations, Father F.J. Gray, Dr. John Natalini, Dave Costigan, who's with us today, and a host of other staff and faculty who all played important roles in my professional development during my time in Quincy. I had the wonderful opportunity to work with some outstanding coaches during my tenure as AD, Hall of Famers in their own right, such as Jack McKenzie and Bill Postiglione, and others such as Larry Just, who transformed our women's basketball program from winless to a team that advanced to the NCAA Division II Elite Eight. Unfortunately, Pat Atwell is unable to join us this morning because of a family commitment in Kansas City. Pat was an outstanding coach and led the Hawks to the team and the school's first GLVC championship in 2000. He would later serve with honor and distinction as the school's AD. Pat is one of my best friends. We took family vacations to the Lake of the Ozarks with the Atwells, and there was no bigger or better fans of Pat's teams than the Namovich kids. As good as he was as a coach, he was a better person and an absolutely wonderful ambassador for QU. I consider it a real blessing he remained such an important part of my life. I'd also be remiss if I didn't introduce and welcome my roommate for 4 years, 39 years ago, Kevin Bierman, who made the trip up from St. Louis to be with me today. Thanks, roomie. During my career at Quincy University and now at the GLVC, I've always worked hard to be a good AD and commissioner, but it was more important to me that I be a great husband and father to my wife and children. That came naturally for me because of the role models I had in my dad and mom. They are both faith-filled servant leaders who instilled in me and my 9 siblings the importance of faith, work ethic, decency, humility, and family. Thank you, Mom. Today I'm joined by the best Notre Dame tailgating family in the nation. Joining us from Indianapolis, Colleen and her husband Matt, Drew and his wife Grace, Jack and his tutor from Marian University Medical School, Lexi. Unfortunately, my oldest daughter, Meg, and her husband, Austin, and the amazing children, Huey and Sophie, are unable to join us because they're not feeling well. They represent the Quincy trifecta, and as I mentioned, Jack is our Hoosier baby. We had him after we made the move to Indianapolis. These are the people in my life who fill my heart with so much pride and joy. I thank God for each of them every day. Now, none of this wonderful morning would be possible if it weren't for the person who's been at my side for the last 41 plus years. Carolyn and I met while we were students at QU. I still recall when she, Kelly Bull, Kathy Summer, Margaret Bunn, and Cindy Schweppe walked into the cafeteria after soccer practice for the first time in August 1983 during her freshman year, and I immediately sought out Doc Postiglione, their coach, to thank him for bringing in such an outstanding recruiting class. I knew I had to act quickly, so I asked Carolyn to play on an intramural co-ed volleyball team, to which she accepted. When we would gather before the start of each match for our little pregame cheer, I would always make sure I was touching her when we stacked hands with our teammates. She is the person who got the kids dressed in their car seats to attend Hawk and Lady Hawk contests, the Mart Heinen Club chili cook-off, or to our family visits to Springfield, Illinois, and St. Louis, Missouri. She is a beacon of light whose infectious personality and smile makes everyone's day just a bit brighter. And I have to tell you, Linda, thank you for the Hall of Fame notice for me. She got inducted a couple years ago and has been an absolute pain to deal with. Every time we come to Quincy, I have to walk 10 feet behind her because she was a Hall of Famer and I was not. Thank you, wife, for just being you. During my 15 years at Quincy and the past 24 years with the GLVC, I never once considered what I was fortunate to do in my profession in life to be work. I put in the time and effort to help create memories for the student athletes I represented because of my obligation to the school and the league, and because it has brought me great joy and happiness over the past 39 years. The opportunities to work in athletics are few and far between, and I have never taken that for granted. I'm fortunate that in this field there is recognition like the QU Hall of Fame, where others graciously donate their time to recognize the accomplishment of others. I am humbled by today's recognition and absolutely flattered that my family from Indianapolis and Springfield made the trip to the Gem City this morning to share in my day. What a great gift you've all given me. Thank you again to the Quincy University Office of Advancement and the Sports Hall of Fame Committee for making this possible. And again, I encourage everybody here today, all of my Hall of Fame counterparts, let's give back to the university. We've gotten so many special memories. So when the time is right, get out a checkbook and let's show our thanks and appreciation for this great school. And let's all remember, it's a great day to be a Hawk. Thank you.
Jim and I, we have something in common, and I don't know who's winning this, but our last names are misspoken every day of our lives. And so last night, I'm sure as a lot of you did, if you came in last night, you went to eat at a place called the Abbey. All right, and my family and I went to the Abbey, and I see Jim and his family there, and you know, hey, you know, the hugs, welcome, congrats, blah, blah, blah. And my daughter is sitting there, and I go, Paige, you know who that is? Yeah, I know who it is. And Jim goes, well, can you say my last name? And I immediately kind of went into like psych out mode. Known Jim for over 30 years. I've always said it, Namovich, which is correct. But I'm like, what if I accidentally said it Namovich or any other way? So I had to call a lifeline, Jim. I did. And I knew Coach Atwell. I knew he was the source of truth. And I know he had a big family thing last night, but I said, to heck with it, I can't screw this up. For 35 years, I might have been screwing up your last name, but I was right. And we had a little talk for 30 seconds. Namovich, right? So I got it phonetically. I'm good. Congratulations, Jim. Our next inductee, Lanny Bunfill. Lanny has been volunteering for Quincy University for over 55 years. If you've attended a Quincy University basketball, football, or soccer game, you've seen Lanny taking tickets or checking armbands or checking student IDs. Lanny says one of the most rewarding parts of his volunteer work is seeing familiar faces year after year. And he has no plans to give up his service at Quincy University. In Lanny's words, I guess as long as I'm healthy and I feel good, I'll keep doing it. He adds he enjoys the people he works with, and he gets to watch some great QU games. Lanny received the Volunteer of the Year award from the Mart Heinen Club in 2017. He's been working ticket booths at QU sporting events for over a half century. That's a lot of years providing volunteer service to Quincy University. Lanny is retired after working at Gardner Denver for 32 years in industrial sales for 6 years and at Lowe's for 5 years. He and his wife, Diana, have been married for over 60 years. Ladies and gentlemen, Lanny Bunfill.
Thank you. Well, I'd like to thank you for this honor, and I thank Quincy University for its excellence in education and sporting activities. And I've enjoyed the time I spent here and continue to do it. Thank you.
Our next inductee, Joanne Ortworth. Joanne came to Quincy in 1957 with her husband, John, who was beginning his basketball coaching career at then Quincy College. Joanne taught courses at Quincy University and John Wood Community College for many years. She received the Golden Deeds Award from the Quincy Exchange Club and was honored by the YWCA as the Woman of Achievement, receiving the Karen Kemner Award for Sports. She has been honored several times at the Illinois State Red Cross Conference. Joanne serves on the executive committee of the Quincy University Retired Faculty Staff Association and is the chair of the Sunshine Committee. For many alumni, Joanne might be the most highly regarded for the supportive role she played in the development of the student athlete on her husband's basketball teams. Joanne's husband, John, was the head coach from 1960 to 1975. Former players have remarked that Joanne was like a mother figure to all of them, and that with the real moms far away, that was very important. One basketball alum said that Joanne was always willing to lend an ear and to help them deal with any issues they faced. One of Joanne's nominators, a 1970 QU alum, said John has given so much to Quincy and to so many players who have come through the system. Ladies and gentlemen, Joanne Ortworth.
As I see everybody here, I look over the years of my life, all the wonderful people here today. I want to acknowledge our president, Dr. Brian McGee, and all our board members. And as my husband occasionally introduced me, he says, "This is Joanne Ortworth, my first wife." So I'm sitting there, okay. And I think you all know John, he likes puns and things like that. I want to thank everybody and congratulate the Hall of Fame members that have already been inducted and the new ones that are being inducted today. I was in a short state of shock when they told me. I was at a family gathering, and Mike McCabe and Diane Glob came up to me. I said, "Oh, your family's staying here." He said, "No." He started reading this paper to me, and then he started almost tearing. So Diane took it, and he read the rest of it. But Mike McCabe grew up with our family. He was a couple houses from us. And I think he was one of the saviors of our university when he came and helped us with all the electronics, along with, as we said, the finances. He named a few people that helped out with that and many other things. And I was really in shock there. But that moment was really wonderful because our children are all there, and I don't think Mike had seen all our kids in a long time. So they stayed there for about an hour, and finally he says, "I have to go home. I got another family at home, grandkids to entertain." So anyway, I want to thank you. And another thing I would like to say is I'm here because of my husband, John. And I tell you, this place is wonderful. I have so many friends. And the Franciscan fathers have done so much. And God has helped me with all of this. And I'm not alone at home. I'm talking to God all the time. I'm asking for suggestions. So anyway, I appreciate where John left me in a wonderful family. And I see so many people here that are very loving. And my family came from 4 different states, I think, to come here. And so we have kind of a little family reunion. And I thank you all for everything, and thank you for Quincy University. And if you have any children, bring them here. It's a wonderful, wonderful university for your heart and for your future and your last years.
Congratulations, Joanne. Our next inductee, Tom Lepper. Tom Lepper is a 1997 QU graduate with a degree in elementary education. A Quincy native, Tom was a dominant force on the court for 4 seasons with the Hawks basketball program and served as the team captain in 1995 and 1996. Tom was 25th all-time in scoring with 1,139 points, grabbed 693 rebounds, and recorded 131 blocked shots, with ranks 3rd all-time at Quincy University. Players that held the 1st and 2nd rankings in the blocks were Tom's teammates. He played with 4 other future QU Hall of Famers. The Hawks secured 2 NCAA Division II postseason appearances during Tom's tenure. He was a dominant player in his junior season on the 94-95 tournament team that is also in the QU Sports Hall of Fame. Tom's stats are strong, but his presence on the court was invaluable. Tom was an enforcer and protector with powerful offensive skills. He changed the direction of the Hawk basketball program in the 1990s. Since graduation, Tom has been employed as an educator and administrator for the Quincy Public Schools, as well as a longtime assistant coach in the Blue Devil basketball program. He also spent 1 year as the assistant girls coach at Quincy Notre Dame. Tom and his wife Sarah have 2 children, Jordan, a senior here at Quincy University, and Brennan, a tall for his age 8th grader at Quincy Junior High School and budding basketball star. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Lepper. Tom, we had a ceremony for him last basketball season during February, and we did it there. So, ladies and gentlemen, one more applause for Tom Lepper. Our next inductee, Roger Sheridan. Roger was on the QU basketball and baseball teams. He was a starter in basketball his senior year and could shoot, pass, and score, but was excellent in baseball. Roger's best asset was hitting, but he had excellent hands and a good arm. Roger was always among the team leaders in hitting, and he also led the team playing 3rd and 2nd base. After graduation, Roger was drafted and signed with the Washington Senators, now currently the Texas Rangers. And during his 4 years in their system, Roger made it all the way to AAA. At the time, there were only 24 major league teams, and Roger was playing one step below the big leagues. During his final minor league season, Roger had a .300 batting average, a .404 on-base percentage, and slugged .845. Tragically, after the 1970 season, Roger was involved in a car accident on his way home and never played again. Roger passed away in 2006. Accepting his Hall of Fame inductee plaque on his behalf is his coach, Dave Costigan.
It's a privilege to represent Roger Sheridan for this honor which he so richly deserved. At the time that Roger was here, the 2-sport star premise kind of held sway. He was outstanding basketball player. I had a good word to describe him. He was feisty. If you're dribbling up the court and he's on defense, you're probably going to lose the ball. Baseball, something that I always particularly emphasized was having somebody who could be in the middle of your lineup. You know, a guy that could bat 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and give you the essence of a rally. And Roger was that guy. I'm so pleased that he is in the hall. He deserves to be there, and I am privileged to have this in my hands. God bless you, Roger. You were great.
Thank you, Coach. Josh Breitbach. Josh was a dominating offensive force on the football field throughout his career at Quincy University. He made second-team All-Illini Badger Conference for 2 seasons. In 1995, Josh was ranked 10th in the country in receptions at 6.7 receptions per game and was 4th in receiving yards with 114.3 yards per game. He was named co-outstanding wide receiver of the Illini Badger Conference in 1995. He also set school records for receptions with 67 and receiving yards with 1,143 during the 1995 season. Josh also earned first-team All-IBC selection, was the 95 offensive MVP. He received the Mart Heinen Award during his senior year. He finished his career with 135 receptions for 2,165 yards and 21 touchdowns, currently ranking in the top 5 in school history, and all were school records at the time of his graduation. Josh made significant contributions to the Quincy University football team and was instrumental in the 1994 season, which brought home the program's second consecutive Illini Badger Conference championship. Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Breitbach.
Thank you, Josh. I want to thank President Dr. McGee, Dr. Moore, and the selection committee for believing I'm worthy to join such a distinguished list of individuals and athletes into the Quincy University Hall of Fame. I'm humbled and honored to be recognized for my accomplishments during my tenure here at QU. I want to thank my parents, Bob and Kathy Breitbach, for their continued support throughout my football career, which started in 7th grade. I'm the oldest of 6, and I don't think they ever missed a single game. As a parent of only 2 athletic daughters, I understand the time and the cost it takes to support them, so thank you. My dad was selected into the College Hall of Fame, but I don't hold that against you, Dad. I hope I represented the Breitbach name with dignity in class, and I love you. To my wife, Michelle, my 2 daughters, Bella and Finley, thank you for sharing this moment with me. I know you understand what it means to me, and I appreciate and love you. I especially want to thank Shelly, because it was her birthday yesterday, and she let me hang out with the guys all night. I'll make it up to you. To all the coaches I played under on the offensive side of the ball, Coach Taylor, Coach Cox, Foster, Hare, and Roth, thank you for giving me the opportunity to continue to play the game I love and for the time you put in practice and on the field to push me to make me a better player. Looking back, you were more of a mentor than coaches, so thank you. To the trainers, Dawn, Brian, Jennifer, and Pops, you guys took such good care of us on and off the field, and I couldn't imagine how many ankle wraps or wrist wraps or uniforms that were washed throughout the years. Brian always had a candy bar for me at halftime because my sugar would always get low, and I never ate before a game because I was always nervous. I could use one right now. I walked on at QU in 1993 as a 5'10", 145-pound kid from Iowa. When we got weighed in for the media guides, I would tie a 10-pound weight inside my sweatpants just so I would look much bigger on paper. When I showed up for 2 days and Noby Gooden was standing in front of me in line as a receiver, I asked myself, what the heck am I doing here? He was 6'5", 6'6", weighed 230 pounds, your typical NFL wide receiver. And then you had guys like Jared Gilman, Chris Kerner, both great receivers. I had no shot at playing as a freshman, but I learned a lot that year from those guys. And our defense had a lot of great players as well. So in 1994, my hard work paid off, and I was given the opportunity to play and start contributing to this football program. And the 94 team was extremely talented. We had a decent number of players returning from the previous year's undefeated team. The defense was so fast, and they hit with such purpose. You had guys like Mike Mon, Wiley, Wims, Clemenson, Melchiori, Barrett, Widmer, Carvis, Wise, TD, Atten, and Grant, Brunk, and Amato. You guys were amazing players and hell of teammates. Amato, you were one of the smallest defensive linemen I've ever seen on the field, but you were unstoppable, played with more heart than anyone you went up against. You were a heck of a player. Murphy Grant, probably one of the best defensive backs Quincy University ever had. Very smart, and he could read an offense and react to the ball so quickly. I probably went up against him the most in practice, and he had my number more than I had his. Thank you for making me raise my game. To the rest of you throughout my career, Doug Shelton, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, heart of gold, thank you. Dunker, Kern, Kwame, Walthall, Sharp, Martin, Shep, DeGroot, Duke, Hunter, McMahon, you're all heck of players. So enough about the defense. I'm an offensive player and a little more partial to those guys. I want to recognize the offensive line. Those guys never get the credit they deserve. They grind it out in the trenches and allow the quarterbacks to throw, or Munson or Keon to run for 100 yards per game. Coach T, you had your hands full with this 94 team, but you managed to keep them in line. That's a tough task to ask anyone. To Cable, JG, Gibby, Gelmaker, McVeigh, Jones, Butler, Kompanowski, Holmes, Stevens, Calhoun, Fernando, and Burdette, Wanda, and Meninga. You guys were awesome, and I appreciate you. I don't get the ball if Chip or Marcus don't have time to throw it to me. Plus, you guys were almost always the first ones down in the end zone when I scored to congratulate me. I know there are so many more offensive stars on this team. Norm Meyer, Munson, Edwards, Dustin, Poindexter, Eller, Grubbs, Vargas, Brundage, Burdette, and Bell, just to name a few. It took all of us. To the quarterbacks I played with in my career, Chip, Marcus, Keppel, and Mendez. Thank you for trusting in me to catch the ball when you threw it to me. Chip, you had such calmness in the pocket and you could read a defense so well. You had so much touch on your throws. I wish I could have played with you a few more years. To Marcus, he had one of the strongest arms a quarterback I've ever played with. I think he and I connected on the most go routes in my career. And he actually gave me the nickname White Lightning, which I appreciated. But I hated playing catch with him because he would always throw the ball so dang hard. You were a great teammate, and I want to congratulate you on all your success you are having down in Durham, North Carolina. Chris Kerner, coming in as a freshman, I looked up to you. You were a heck of a receiver with great hands and an excellent route runner. Thank you for your guidance you provided during the 2 years we played together. And congratulations on your retirement from the Illinois State Police. Football is a team sport, and without all of you, I do not accomplish what I did during my career here at QU. I am proud of my records I broke and the awards I achieved, but mostly I'm thankful for the relationships I made and the education I received here at Quincy University. I'm sure many of you spouses are aware that there was a group text that was started back in August. Well, there's actually like 7 group texts. Every time we get someone's number, we just add it, so we had all these different texts. But since then, it's been like we were right back here 30 years ago, like we didn't miss a beat. And that's what makes this team so special. It's a brotherhood. Each one of you, in some way, had an impact on me. So to all my fellow Hall of Famer teammates, thank you. And I want to thank Quincy University for hosting this event. I know we all appreciate the time you put in, everybody that volunteered to make this ceremony possible. Thank you very much, and it's a great day to be a Hawk.
Congratulations, Josh. I'm sure the software engineers at Apple thought the group text feature was for the 12 to 20 category, but I feel you with the whole, your teammates and stuff. There's nothing better. And then unless somebody has the green or the non-iPhone, then you can't go past 20. Then you got to kick them out, or they have to go to the Apple store, one or the other. Tori Bunzel-Keeker. To say that Tori was a powerful presence on the mound here at Quincy University is a bit of an understatement. In Tori's time at Quincy University from 2008 to 2011, she was named the GLVC Freshman of the Year, Midwest Region Pitcher of the Year, First Team All-GLVC 4 times, and GLVC Pitcher of the Year 2 times. Tori was named All-American twice by 2 different organizations. Once the record holder of the career strikeout record in all of Division II, Tori's 1,539 career strikeouts are still the gold standard for the Quincy University Hawks softball program, including 524 strikeouts her senior season, which of course also is a school record. Tori's 95 career wins marks the most in program history. She owns 2 other school records in innings pitched, 930 and 2/3, and shutouts, 46, while also sitting 4th all-time in career earned run average with 1.14. Part of her 46 shutouts were 10 career no-hitters, along with 3 perfect games. Her senior campaign was capped with several single-season records for Quincy University, including wins with 30, innings pitched 307, shutouts 14, and strikeouts 524. She won the GLVC Scholar Athlete of the Year in softball and GLVC Richard F. Scharf Paragon Award her senior year as the league's top female student athlete. Tori was inducted into the GLVC Hall of Fame in 2022 by fellow Hall of Fame member Jim Namovich. Ladies and gentlemen, Tori Bunzel-Keeker.
Wow. It's been a long time since I've been back to Quincy, and I can say that a lot has changed. There's a lot more going on in the town. The school, even, the facilities, everything has changed, but it still feels like home. So it's great to be back. It's a great day to be a Hawk. Great all around. I want to congratulate the fellow inductees today. I feel very blessed to share in this honor with you and your families and friends as well, because it's a team. I think we all know that it's a team effort, and I'm sure your families and friends have helped you along the way as well. So I have lots of thank yous, but I'll keep it short. First, I'd like to thank everybody at QU back then and now for making this feel like home still to this day, for every part that everybody has played along the way. I'd like to thank the teams I played with, my teammates, surprised by a few of them here today, so it's nice to see those smiling faces come in through the door. I think someone else mentioned, you don't skip a beat. You feel like you're right back home again, and so it's great to see some of those faces today as well. My coaches, I had great coaching. I could say that between myself, Coach Obert, and my catcher, Carla, that it felt like a small team in ourselves, just kind of planning out the game, planning out the hitters, the lineup, and everything. So I was very blessed to have a great coaching staff to work with when I was here. And Carla as well played a huge part in everything. She spent countless hours before, after practice, games, setting my nerves at ease. She had a huge role in everything, and still my best friend to this day. So grateful for her friendship, the time that she put in, and energy and blood, sweat, tears behind the plate. I know she sweet-talked a lot of those umpires for me, so very grateful for her role there as well. My husband, who I met at Quincy, played basketball at Quincy, he didn't like coming to my games because he said they were boring. He said, you either strike them out, walk them, or hit them. So, but I thank him for coming and being my support system through those years as well. We got married on Quincy campus, and today we get to bring our kids back to Quincy with us as well. So they don't really understand what's going on. I know my son, he says, is it over yet? But they were promised a day of swimming at the hotel pool, so they're hanging in there pretty strong. Most importantly, of course, my parents who are here with me today, the sacrifices that they put in, the time, I'll never be able to repay. My mom, the peacemaker, so she had an important job in the car on the way home from our games. She had a difficult role between telling Dad to calm down and telling me to calm down, and it's just a game. But I know she's competitive as well. And now later in life, I realize how hard it must have been for her to play that role when she really wanted to see me succeed as well. My dad, working, could be on a roof all day, could be jackhammering a sidewalk all day, would come home, grab his glove, and say, "We gotta go. Let's go practice." So I'm very grateful that he pushed me the way he did. And I'm finding out now as a parent that is a fine line, when to know to push your kid and when to let them make their own decisions. So I'm grateful for the lessons that I've learned from my own support system. Still at age, 55, 56, down in a squat, catching me without a mask on, so I feel like he's one of the bravest people. I had a lot of control over that ball when I wanted to, and depending on my mood for that day, he was pretty brave getting behind the plate for me. So, but again, thank you to everyone at QU. Thank you for this honor. I feel very blessed. I thank God every day for the opportunities He's given me, and congratulations again to everyone. So, thank you.
Ashley Christ Skidmore. Ashley was an intense midfielder throughout her career on the soccer pitch at Quincy University. She finished her QU soccer career with 19 goals and 24 assists and was named the team's best midfielder in 1996. Ashley was the program's all-time assist leader in a single season with 13 assists in 1995, a school record that stood until it was tied in 2013. She was second in school history for assists in a game with 24. She tied for seventh in school history with 19 career goals. Ashley made second team All-GLVC in 1995. Ashley was on the QU women's soccer team that made 2 Final Four appearances. Not only did Ashley excel on the soccer field, Ashley excelled in the classroom as well, as she made the 1996 Academic All-Conference team. She received a Lincoln Laureate Award and was the 1998 Brother Cleet Van Akron OFM Scholarship Award winner. Ladies and gentlemen, Ashley Christ Skidmore.
I'm a little shorter than everybody else, but Wow. Thank you so much for this incredible honor. To the nomination committee, athletic department, all the leadership here and university administrators, I'd like to express my heartfelt thanks and for recognizing my contributions to Quincy University athletics. This really is such an honor and something that I honestly never thought about or dreamt about occurring ever. I was here a few years ago with my 1994 and 95 team, and I thought, this is great, this is the highlight, we're done, later QU. But here I am today, here accepting this incredible honor. I'd like to say that I'm here today with my husband, Dan. My two children, Ian and Paige, could not make it. They had more exciting things to do, like fraternity duties at Bradley University and a new job for my daughter. But they're obviously a part of my journey here. And I could not be here also without my Quincy, as I call them, family. They were friends that are now closest family, Lori, Jennifer, and Megan Laker. You guys did not know me fully as Ashley Christ, as a student and athlete at Quincy University. You've heard countless stories. My husband's like, oh great, another QU story. So thank you for being here. I love you all to the moon and back. From the moment I received this letter, I've been filled with absolute gratitude and also flooded with so many great memories of my time at QU. This little bitty college and all the people I associated with during my 4 years as a student have definitely made an incredible impact on my adult life. My best college memories, without a doubt, were made on the field as a member of the Lady Hawk soccer team, but I cannot and would not be the person that I am today with all the memories I made off the field, both in the classrooms, the student union, the residence halls, our senior house, thank you to the Garden Girls, and maybe even a memory or two that I made attending an occasional college party or maybe even hosting one or two. It's really hard for me to believe that it's been 30 years since I first arrived at Quincy University, which also marks our team's first trip to the NCAA Final Four. This achievement and honor reflects not just my efforts, but also the support of so many people along the way. As I think back and look back at my success on the field here at Quincy, there are plenty of people that I need to thank, and first and foremost goes to Coach Dr. Bill Posaglione, also known as Doc, and certainly Tom Bowers for their guidance and support. When I think about them as my initial coaches, they could not be more night and day. They were complete opposites in their approach to coaching. And for those of you that know, you can chuckle with me. But the combination of Doc and Tom was fantastic and worked really well. Doc was like the father figure who encouraged us, motivated us, and was a little nice to us at a time or two. And then there was Tom. Tom was like the older brother who pushed us to perfection and maybe even madness once in a while. We could always count on Tom to get angry with us when we weren't playing our best, when we didn't go hard enough in practice at each other, or in my case, when I came off the bench or came out of the game, I screwed up a corner kick when we were beating the team 7 or 8-0, and I got the look of disgust from Tom, and I just said, yeah, I'll have my seat at the end, thank you. The two of them provided the perfect balance of support and motivation that helped us earn the back-to-back NCAA Final Four appearances. And even when Tom bailed on us and left after the first 2 years, Doc was certainly there to support and push me all the way to the end of my career, so thank you. The next people I'd like to thank are my teammates from all those 4 years. We came from so many different backgrounds, parts of the country, playing experiences, yet despite all those differences, we were always able to gel together really quickly. And this was the time of the day when we didn't have any typical preseason practices, training, scrimmages. We literally threw on our boots. We did preseason training for about 3 days, and then we played our first game a week later. Yes, I can't deny I had my fair share of goals and assists. I earned a few accolades along the way, but those mean absolutely nothing and would have never happened without the 10 other players on the field with me and all the subs on our bench who were battling and bleeding every single day of the season for each other. I'll never forget all the grueling practices or the early morning runs and weightlifting sessions at North Campus. We were driven and absolutely motivated to win and be successful. I'll never forget a few end of the season or during the season underwear painting parties because we had to look really good in those white shorts. I'll never forget the long trips to Colorado, the Carolinas, Florida, to play some of the best competition in the country. I'll certainly never forget getting on the bus, Jim Namovich singing Brown, 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 whatever song that was. I'll never forget an occasional bet with some of my teammates about who could get the first good goal, or maybe a foul or a yellow card against certain conference rivals. And I'll most definitely never forget singing Little Bunny Foo-Foo and other nursery rhymes in our locker room to help minimize our nerves and pregame jitters. We shared a lot more than victories as our teammates, but also a lot of personal and athletic challenges. Tons of laughter, maybe a few arguments like women athletics often does, but most importantly, we had this competitive bond that has impacted my life to this very day. We were so proud to wear the brown and gold Quincy University Hawk jersey. Each of those teammates pushed me to be the best, improve, and show me the true meaning of teamwork. Our collective effort was what made our success possible. There was no I in team, and that's for sure. I'm proud to have been part of such a dedicated and talented group. And if you don't mind, I must acknowledge one particular teammate who impacted my life. She was the truest definition of a competitor and best teammate ever. For every offensive goal that we scored, Nicole was back there on the defense, keeping out the others, and actually helped us win many, many games. She was so fierce. She was hilarious. She was funny. She was beautiful. She was so kind and calm. And she was a true inspiration of Christian faith to everyone who knew her, including her husband and 4 kids and her local community. Nicole, I know you're resting in peace, free from cancer, and coaching one hell of a game or playing some fierce tournaments in heaven. My next thank you goes to Brian Wood, the training staff, for the countless ankle tapes, leg wraps, ice massages, stem treatments, whatever it took to help keep me and my teammates on the field. And more important than any of those individual treatments, I have to say a huge thank you to Brian himself for being the one who made me go to the doctor, physically drove me to the doctor, and for the doctor to tell me, Ashley, you've got to have your appendix out right now. That experience was life-changing in more ways than one. But waking up from surgery that next morning in Blessing Hospital and immediately seeing Brian, the dean of students, and the vice president of the university all in my hospital room was a little intimidating, granted, but it also showed me the true spirit of the Quincy University Franciscan values and how the administrators here cared for their students as if I was one of their own kids. And last but certainly not least, I need to thank my parents for everything that they provided and sacrificed for my soccer habits and the habits of all of my siblings. They're not here with me today because I assured them, Mom and Dad, this is one thing I can do on my own. You don't need to come from Florida. For those of you who don't know, I grew up in Omaha, Nebraska, and then Mandeville, Louisiana, neither of which were considered hotbeds of youth soccer. But soccer was the center of my entire family. Our closest friends were always soccer families. Our family vacations revolved around soccer tournaments, and even my own wedding to Dan revolved around my brother's professional soccer schedule. Growing up, my parents were the backbones of all of our travel clubs. They coached us. They were the administrators of the club, serving as club president or whatever team parent duty they needed to do. They never hesitated to drive thousands of miles each year to ensure that we could play with the best teams and against the best competition possible. In fact, 2 to 3 days per week, they left work early to drive me roughly 70 miles from my home in Mandeville to Baton Rouge for a 3 to 4 hour practice, and then back and again 2 or 3 more days that week. In addition to all the games that I played on the weekends from anywhere from Texas, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee. So as you can see, my life really did revolve around soccer. They often made their unwavering support didn't stop when I came to Quincy. They often made the 10 to 12 hour drive just to watch me lace up my boots once or twice for the weekend and put on the number 9 jersey for a game or two, because they were, after all, my parents, and that's what they did. So thank you, Mom and Dad, for showing me the best example of dedication, determination, work ethic, love, and support. I truly would not have done this without you. As I reflect on my time at Quincy, I realized that the wins and losses really during those 4 seasons were just one aspect of the memories and why I truly love this place, this little bitty college known as Quincy University. I often get asked, how in the world did a girl from New Orleans ended up at a small college in the middle of nowhere, Illinois. And I quickly let them know I chose Quincy University over other Division I and Division II programs because I was looking for a college for the first time in my life that I could be more than just Ashley Christ, the good soccer player. Doc was really clear during my recruiting trip that I could make an immediate impact on the team. I could have a starting spot if I showed up and did the things right. But he was also really sure during that, really confident during the conversation that he wanted students to be student athletes and that he expected his players to get involved in the greater QU community. And so in January of my freshman year, I took on the decision to do exactly that. Thinking back, I'm not sure that there was a part of the student life that I didn't participate in at least once over my 4 years. I was provided an opportunity to contribute to a great soccer program, but just as importantly, I had the opportunity to engage in so many other campus activities and develop so many close friendships with non-athletes, like my roommates. For the first time in my life, I was able to get involved outside of soccer and athletics, and just in general, enjoy life, enjoy the balance between a student and an athlete. And this proved to be so essential and important to my college experience. And even my current professional career today, working in higher education, began right here at Quincy University when I was hired as a student ambassador and worked in the Office of Admission. I gave tours and called prospective students, which has turned into my career today. So I guess you could say that Quincy helped me develop a love for working in college admissions and just being around college campuses. With no hesitation, I can confirm that the lessons I learned, the friendships I made, and all the experiences I embraced here at Quincy University have played a really extremely important part of my adult life. Through soccer, I gained valuable skills including persistence, resiliency, teamwork, time management, grit, and the importance of competition. These values have shaped me in so many ways, but it was the balance from the other QU activities that really provided me a full transformative college experience. And after nearly 22 years on the soccer field, and to the many college classrooms, organizing student orientation, leading the student newspaper, coaching young girls, and working in college admissions, I am consistently reminded of the athletic values and college experiences that make me who I am today. And for that, I guess I say thank you to this little school at Quincy University. I am proud to be a Quincy Hawk, truly humbled by this recognition, and will cherish the people and the memories here at this institution forever.
Jessica Keller. There's a saying in sports, winners win. That saying was meant for people like Jessica Keller. Jessica played at Quincy University from 2005 to 2009, was a three-time All-GLVC selection and an All-American as a senior. She earned GLVC Player of the Year honors in 2009 and graduated as the Hawks' all-time leader in points scored with 1,823, steals 324, free throws made 487, and free throws attempted 652. From 2005 to 2009, the program went a combined 83-36, going to 3 NCAA tournaments. Jessica graduated with Quincy University with honors and earned the GLVC's Richard F. Scharf Paragon Award, which combines academics, athletics, leadership, and character. Jessica has gone from being a player to Quincy University to now a coach. Today, Jessica is an assistant coach with the University of Nebraska women's basketball program. She worked her way up from a grad assistant coach here at Quincy University to an assistant coach at Minnesota State to head coach at Columbia College to assistant coach at Illinois State before joining the Cornhuskers coaching staff in her current role. Jessica's head coaching record at Columbia College included a 75-24 overall record, 2 NAIA tournament appearances, a school record 19 consecutive wins, and a school record 56.6 opponents' points allowed per game in her final season at Columbia College. Jessica was also named to the Women's Basketball Coaches Association 30 under 30 inaugural class while serving at Columbia College. Ladies and gentlemen, Jessica Keller.
First, I'd like to say congratulations to all of the other fellow inductees in this 2024 class, and thank you to the committee for selecting me as well. I have many people to thank, but I'll try to be brief. And I know I'm on the clock, so whoever's doing that in the group chat, when they spoke about the group chat, we've got a couple with green text message bubbles. So somehow we're still in the group chat together all these years later. But if you traveled to be here with me today, thank you. Thank you to everyone that came, that could be here, and those that couldn't be as well. I know I need to thank, as many of us have said, everyone who touched QU women's basketball in any way, but I'm not going to do that by name. We have a football game to get to, and I think everyone's probably getting ready for lunch and preparations for that. So just know that anyone who touched the QU women's program, you have had an impact on me and being at this podium today. Thank you to my family for always being present, to my aunts and uncles and cousins who are here even today. I feel like you probably didn't need the GPS to get back after all the games that you attended in person. To my mom and dad for the countless hours and money that you spent on all of our youth sports, and for traveling with the QU teams all across the country to be in the stands. We have fond memories of our flight not landing in Las Vegas, but instead landing in Reno, Nevada, and having to find a way onto a shuttle bus that somehow my dad convinced to take us to our hotel, which was not his hotel. We definitely could never, ever thank you for all the things that you guys did while you were on the road. I caught the flu one evening after a game, and they came and got me at the hotel and nursed me back to health so I could play in our second game of the road trip. Things that, as parents, you forget that you signed up for, and I'm grateful for, even when I was 19 years old, and we're still doing that. I still can't believe that you only missed one game in my college career, home or away games. And to be fair, I missed a game that you stayed for on my birthday when I had the flu, so I guess we're even for appearances with the Lady Hawks. Thank you to my brother, who is also here. Definitely is responsible for my competitiveness. We still thrive in that today. And for all those fouls that I was able to kind of withstand in my career, appreciate you beating me up enough times to be tough enough. We should have practiced the free throw makes after those fouls. If you do the math, the percentage isn't as great as Jim. I think maybe we were hoping that the percentage would have been. Thank you to my teammates. I should have you all standing up here with me, so I'm going to ask you to please stand. So all the teammates that are here. We all know in a team sport, none of these honors would be possible without each of you. And thank you for the love that you've shown me in organizing all of this, for making the commitment to be here, for the support beyond Quincy University that you've given to me, and all the things, the memories that we've created, also things that we're not going to talk about up here today, but you've become family to me, and your families are families to me as well. I know we've even got some of our own teammates, family members here, so thank you for being here as well. You are my best friends, and the reason that I can look at young student athletes, prospective student athletes, and tell them that the next 4 years of their life will be the best time of their lives. You are the reason for all the things that I was able to accomplish, so thank you guys so much. To our athletic trainer, Steph, I know you have made your way back. Could you please stand? Steph is also on the clock. We need to get her out to the football field as well, but I can't thank you enough for all the things that you did to make it possible for me to be on the floor. In our fateful trip to Las Vegas, really did a number on my ankle in one of the games, and you came up here the day after Christmas to do treatment on my ankle so that I could play when we came back from Christmas break. And I was fortunate that my family was celebrating right across the river in Hannibal, Missouri, where my mom is from, but you didn't have to do that. And I think your commitment and dedication to our program and just to us as young women was huge. So thank you for all the things that you did. To my coaches, thank you to Coach Egan. She recruited me the hardest and taught me what recruiting should look like, how to make someone feel valued before they even become a member of your own program. And to Larry Just for the opportunity to become a Hawk. Those coaches laid the foundation for us, and we sat in this room when they inducted Just Stuckman, and we were current players, and understood what a bar that they had set for us. So thank you to the coaches that set the stage for us to have our successes. And to JD Gravina and Brittany Carper, who are also here today, you came at a time of change, and coaching change that I didn't ask for, none of us asked for in the middle of our careers, but that we really needed. And we were so grateful for just the way that you gave us new perspective. You unlocked all of our potential. You made basketball fun for everyone. We were able to achieve things that we would not have been able to do without you. So thank you for that, and thank you for being here. You also gave me a chance to start my coaching career. As Josh alluded to, I started as a graduate assistant here. I completed my undergraduate degrees and didn't know what to do. And they had told me over and over again, you should get into coaching. And so they gave me a chance to be on the sidelines and in the back of the locker room when the team was out warming up, and to see the inner workings of what goes into all that. And I'm grateful for your friendship and your mentorship over all these years, so thank you. Each of my coaches knew that I should go into coaching well before I thought I was going to go into coaching. I came here, I studied accounting and finance, and I appreciate every one of those encouraging messages to go into coaching, to combine my love for teaching and basketball in my career. But my dad still has a word that he'd like to have with you. He is starting to come around on this coaching gig, but it was hard when I took the job at Nebraska, being Missouri natives and having gone through the 90s football with Missouri, Nebraska as well. So on that note, what a great time to be in college women's basketball. And I want to thank everyone that's ever been a part of this program when we were playing here. You couldn't have told me at the time that we were not already the pinnacle. We used to sell this place out. We accomplished incredible things. We broke records. We had a lot of fun on and off the floor together, and we thought it was it. And so that experience shaped me in wanting to stay in college athletics. And right now, I feel very fortunate with the trajectory that women's basketball is on. I want to challenge each of you to support not just Quincy University women's basketball, but all of women's sports across the country. What an awesome time to continue to be leading and be part of it, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful to Quincy University for giving me the start that I needed and everything. And again, thank you to the committee. Go Hawks.
Congratulations, Jessica. The 1994 football team went 8-1 and won the Illini Badger Conference title under head coach Ron Taylor. His second straight Coach of the Year honor came with that team. And the Hawks also won their second consecutive Illini Badger Conference championship. 5 players in that team earned Conference Player of the Year honors. Chris Kerner was the Illinois Badger Conference's co-outstanding wide receiver, catching 35 passes for 579 yards and 3 touchdowns. Carlos Wiley was the IBC's co-outstanding linebacker with 76 tackles and 7 sacks. William Wims was the IBC's co-outstanding defensive lineman of the year with 57 tackles, 8 sacks, and 3 recovered fumbles. Dustin Johnson was the IBC's Special Teams Player of the Year, returning 13 kickoffs for 393 yards and a touchdown, while returning 11 punts for 83 yards. He was also a running back on that football team, rushing for 216 yards and 2 touchdowns. Chip Campbell was the IBC's co-outstanding quarterback, completing 112 passes for 1,550 yards. 13 Hawk football players were given first-team All-IBC honors. 4 Hawks earned second-team honors, while 5 earned honorable mention. On that team, Shane Widmer set the career sacks record with 35. William Wims, second with 31. Total points by a defender, Mike Mon. Rob Munson retired as the all-time touchdown record holder. Another interesting tidbit. Coe College had a running back featured on the cover of Sports Illustrated because he was the Offensive Player of the Year, and the defense on that team held him to 27 yards rushing. One of the most memorable games ever in Quincy University football history took place in the championship game of the IVC, in which the Hawks won a 34-33 double overtime thriller over Eureka College at the old QU Stadium. Members of this team include, that are in attendance, Anthony Amato. Please step forward. Brian Armstrong. Aiden Douglas. Kenneth Beecham. Kevin Bierman. James Butler. Michael Cable. James Campbell. Thomas Clementson. Anthony Cornett. Anthony Davis. William Duke. Thomas Dunker. William Durand. Clifton Gibson. Derek Hunter. Matt Koppel. Josh Kern. Michael Mon. John McCool. Kevin McVeigh. Anthony Melchiori. Douglas Shelton. Frank Stoddard. Juan Vargas. William Weckbach. Shane Whitmer. Carlos Wiley. Mark Wise. Tori Barrett. John Welby. Robert Jones. Chris Poindexter. Josh, you only get one plaque. I'm kidding, Jeff Freibach. Mike Foster. Coach Brian Cox. Coach Bill Turlissner. Accepting on behalf of Coach John Morris, Jennifer Morris, and Julie Gander, I'm sorry, and his daughters. Trainer Brian Wood. Manager John Welby. And anybody else that I did not get set in front of me. Meet, I see you sitting there. Demetrius Young? No? Okay. I don't want to miss a Hall of Famer already. After we get through the line here, member of the team, Michael Mon, will speak on behalf of the team.
First of all, congrats to all the inductees. Good morning, everyone. My name is Mike Mon. I had the privilege of playing football alongside many of the men in this room today. It is my honor to stand before you now and speak on behalf of the 1994 Quincy University football team. First and foremost, I want to express my deepest gratitude to God for the unwavering support and guidance throughout our journey. I want to extend a special thank you for the Hall of Fame committee for this incredible recognition, and to Linda Moore for being our community's heartbeat and always advocating for our achievements. Coach T, can you step forward? Thanks, brother. Coach T, to his players, Barney, to his friends, I don't care what year you walked onto this campus since the 1980s, you would find it impossible to meet a more dedicated Hawk to this football program than him. His love of the game and unmatched support make him the heart and soul of QU football. Barney, I look forward to the day you take this podium, deliver your Hall of Fame speech. You certainly have my vote, the vote of hundreds of your teammates, players, and friends. We thank you for setting the standard, what it means to be a Hawk, my brother. And finally, the reason I stand before you today, my teammates, my brothers. Thank you. As a captain of the 1993 and 94 teams, I got a front row seat to see what it looks like to be a great team. I witnessed the hard work each of you poured into each practice, the obstacles that we as a team fought to overcome, and the courage shown every Saturday to take the field and play the game we all love with all our hearts, with one common goal: to win. As on the field and in life, there is loss. I would like to take a moment to honor those who we lost along the way. First, our coaches, whose leadership and dedication propelled us to greatness. Coach Taylor, Coach Morris, Coach Dempsey. Whether we chose to believe it at the time, these gentlemen would play a huge role in molding us into the men we are today. They taught us the fundamentals and strategies of football, but the lessons and knowledge we took with us into the real world solidified their impact on every one of us. Sadly, there are a few Hawks that are not with us today. Lonnie Bolton, Bob Stevens. Bubba was a special man. What he may have lacked in sheer athletic ability, he made up tenfold in personality and love. He only loved one thing more than football. Well, maybe two, Mountain Dew and dip. Just kidding. He loved his teammates, which means he loved each and every one of you. Chip reminded me of how on Saturdays, during breakfast, before games, Bobo kept everyone's nerves in check by making us laugh with his lighthearted ribbing and jokes. He warmed all of our hearts with his quick wit and laughter. But it was his love for his fellow Hawks and the others that made Bob Bobo. Alan George's wife, Melissa, told me of a time her beloved grandmother passed away. Her wake was held on a Tuesday with little announcement. Only one Hawk showed up that day to pay their respect. With a tear in her eye, Melissa spoke of the moment Bob walked through the door of the funeral home. He's wearing the same beige sweatshirt that he would often wear to traffic court to dispute his parking tickets. His jeans are held up by a QU football nylon gold belt. Thanks, Pops. And a smile that lit up the entire room. Her family still shares the story today, the day that Bobo showed his golden heart. Please join me in honoring Bobo and our past coaches and all the departed Hawks with a brief moment of silence. Thank you. So it's time to answer the question on everyone's mind, how did we get here? In short, by an invitation from a group of coaches, namely Coach Dickens, Emmendorfer, Bertram, Gundy, Taylor, and Coach Cox. Then there's the long answer. Each one of us got here because from a young age we loved the game of football. We weren't ready to hang up the cleats just yet. And by choosing to strap them on to play college ball, we ended up among the most incredible group of football players to ever walk this campus. Many of us here today won 19 of our last 20 games. Went 14-1 in conference play. Won 2 conference championships. Heck, even a national championship. When we arrived on campus, we were surrounded by over 130 plus future Hall of Famers. I believe this support system made us stronger. A thanks to Kevin Reller, Demetrius Young, Craig Hingle, Heath Tagmeyer, Noby Gooden, Rob Munson, Murphy Grant, Josh Brockbike, sisters Michelle and Jenny Hackett. Then there were the old Hawks, the so-called pioneers. Barney, Joe Hartwig, Horace Guthrie, Mike Renner, John Cassidy, Dutch, TJ, and many more. We are eternally grateful for their mentorship and support. The 93 team was special to us, packed full of great seniors, namely Alan George and Keith Ritter. Alan and Keith were incredible teammates to us. We thank them both for their guidance in leading us through that 1993 undefeated season. Prior to the first game of the 93 season, Carlos Wiley challenged the entire team to envision an undefeated season. The team accepted Carlos's call to arms and went to win them all. In doing so, it ignited a transformative journey that redefined our football program's trajectory. After the 1993 season, we doubled down our commitment, stating boldly that we would go undefeated again in 94. This declaration was not merely talk, but a rallying cry that brought us closer together. The previous year's success laid a foundation of unyielding determination and accountability. We worked hard in the weight room, wore out the VCR watching game films, and set sights on extraordinary goals. The 1994 Quincy University football team set an ambitious vision of going 9-0 and win 20 of the last 20 games. We knew it wouldn't be easy. Our team operated around 5 core ideas. Win, build unity, be selfless, forget the outside distractions, and play for each other. Winning was the top priority, but the others would create a selfless culture. A culture of doing your best because you trusted the man next to you to do the same. We accepted the importance of focus and discipline. During practice and games, our focus was solely on business. We celebrated our achievements only after victories, so we partied a lot. Some more than others. Milk, back of the bus, lemon drops. We had a strong sense of belonging. Our true strength came from walking this journey together, refueling our resolve as a collective unit. We supported one another through thick and thin, knowing there was nothing we couldn't achieve together. Say what you want about the man, but Coach Taylor knew how to win. Over his 2 seasons as QU head coach, he left with a record of 17-1, 10-0 in conference play. In doing so, he created winners. I'm happy to say that many of those winners were beside you before we came up here. As a player, I can't dismiss the fact that Coach Taylor was tough on us at times. He once said, "We thought we were a little better than we were. We thought it was going to be a little easier than it was." I disagreed with him then and to this day. I believe that our success resulted from working hard week after week to prove that we were better than even we thought we were. Maybe he was using some sort of reverse psychology. I don't know, and I don't care. I know that our success was not solely the product of coaching. As I said earlier, we took the field, went into battle for one reason: to win for each other. And when we did. North Central, 35-21. Lakeland, 56-21. Greenville, 30-12. Concordia, 32-14. McMurray, 29-7. Eureka, 34-33, double overtime, conference championship victory. Who could forget Mark Weiss knocking down the 2-point conversion against Eureka? That moment secured the conference championship. The leadership exhibited in that game, in that locker room, and our shared willingness to pull together was unmatched. That game solidified our unity and our unwavering belief in each other. Finally, Culver Stockton really thought they could come in here and do something. 52-18. I don't know about you, but I remember those victories like they were yesterday. I treasure those days. Days when our defense played downhill. We showed up angry. Man, we loved to hit. The more pain we could inflict, the better. Our mission on defense, week after week, was to outscore the opposition we were playing. We trusted one another to do what it took to stop our opponents at all costs. When pressed, we settled for a bend, but don't break defense. Other times, we flew around the ball looking for an opportunity to make a big play. 11 hats across the ball. There is no doubt that we worked hard in every play to provide good field position for our brothers on offense. As a defense, we had the best seats in the house to witness the high scoring, circus catching, pancake blocking, flat out run over you. These gents could put points on a board offense. Coming into the season, we heard that everyone was gunning for us. Our opposition could lose every game on their schedule, but have a great season by beating us. Our offense took showing up each week ready to play as a challenge. It was an honor to take a knee and watch them dominate. As I look back on the 94 season, let's remember it wasn't just the victories or the championships that defined us. It was the lessons we learned, the bonds we forged, the leadership that emerged from every corner of our team, from Coach Taylor to all his staff, to every player in this room. We demonstrated that extraordinary outcomes come from teamwork and commitment. In a few hours, we will stand in the tunnel before being called onto the home field for one last time. I ask that you soak it up. Soak up the sights, the sounds, the crowd. Bask in the warmth of being surrounded by your teammates, your brothers. The men who helped transform this campus, this program, just before being sent out into the world to succeed in life. At this time, I would like to extend a special heartfelt thank you to all the families, the friends, the fans who cheered us on every Saturday. Thank you for always believing in us. Your endless support fueled our drive. Thank you to Quincy University for honoring and allowing us as a team to share this day and reflect on our remarkable journey together. I cannot be more proud of all of you, more proud of all of us. Congratulations to you and to the entire 1994 Quincy University football team for being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Go Hawks, and may God bless.
Before we adjourn, a couple things. I'd like to welcome everybody in attendance to today's football contest for William Jewell. Please be our guest at the football game as we play the Battle of the Birds. We have a traveling rivalry trophy game. If we win our next two conference games, it'll be the most conference games we have ever won in GLVC competition in our history of playing GLVC football. We are also honoring local superheroes, including military veterans and first responders. One more round of applause for today's inductees. Thank you, and go Hawks.